You've got to read what this organization is. The American Constitution Society for Law and Policy. It amazes me that these people believe that the Constitution is something to simply be interpreted at the moment requiring interpretation. I know we're gonna get all kinds of lawyers who are gonna call up and say, well, you're not a lawyer. I don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to be a lawyer to read the Constitution. The Constitution is not a piece of legislation with loopholes. It is, again, as Thomas Paine said, the government is the function of the Constitution, not the other way around. I want to read this to you about the ACS. Shaping debate, building networks, making a difference. This is from the About page. The American Constitution Society believes that law should be a force to improve the lives of all people. Really? That's what law is supposed to be? Bastiat would disagree. Because, I don't need to go to Bastiat on that one. When the law is used to improve the lives of all people, it doesn't improve the lives of all people. It improves the lives of some people at the expense of other people. The ACS works for positive change by shaping debate on vitally important legal and constitutional issues through development and promotion of high-impact ideas to opinion leaders and the media, by building networks of lawyers, law students, judges, and policymakers dedicated to those ideas, by countering the activist conservative legal movement that has sought to erode our enduring constitutional values, by bringing together powerful, relevant ideas and passionate, talented people. ACS makes a difference in the constitutional, legal, and public policy debates that shape our democracy. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic. Shaping debate. The American Constitution Society brings together many of the country's best legal minds to articulate a progressive vision of our Constitution and laws through its public programs, publications, and active online presence. The ACS generates intellectual capital for ready use by progressive allies and shapes debates on key legal and public issues. The American Constitution Society is also debunking conservative buzzwords such as originalism and strict construction that use neutral-sounding language but is all too often to lead conservative policy outcomes, using both traditional and new media to communicate with policymakers, judges, lawyers, and the public at large. The ACS presents compelling alternative versions of core constitutional values such as genuine equality, liberty, justice, and the rule of law. No, they don't. Because if you think that originalism, if you think that original intent, if you think that the words as they are subject to interpretation by these people, which mean, again, improve the lives of all people. How does the law improve the lives of all people? Pastor Adrian Rogers, the government can't give something to someone that it first doesn't take away from someone else. The government can't pass laws to improve the lives of all people except for to be limited in its approach to the people. The law already improves the lives of all people. Read the Constitution. It limits the government and places liberty in the hands of the people. You can't pass laws to improve the lives of all people while preserving liberty. It can't be done. The problem with these people, these progressive lawyers, is they believe that rights are an actual physical product, and that if somebody is lacking, again, what was that whole FDR second Bill of Rights? Freedom from hunger, freedom from unemployment. If the government starts to decide that receiving something is a function of rights, but taking it from someone else who has not broken any other laws in the process, property can't be confiscated without due process. To say that passing a simplistic law with 51% of the government, or even 51% of the society for that matter, begets wealth redistribution, let's just say, The people whose rights you've infringed upon have no voice. And just because they may or may not be rich doesn't mean they lose their rights in the process. You don't lose rights because of your wealth. You don't gain rights because of your wealth or lack of wealth. The idea that you gain rights because you lack wealth and lose rights because you've accumulated wealth is nonsense. If that is the point of view, then there is no liberty. Liberty is not something that can be divided up among the people. It is a limit on government. The only way to support liberty is to limit government. That's it. Government can't entitle you to things to be taken from other people. If liberty is to be had by all and government takes something from someone to give it to somebody else, then it is violating the liberty of the person they are taking from, regardless of who that person is. Whether they're a rich man or a poor man or a person in the middle for that matter. This argument cannot be broken. And I'll tell you this right now. You can challenge my academic pedigree till you're blue in the face. You can make me the sacrificial conservative lamb. At the ACS convention, I would still stand on principle, and I would still win the debate. Your academic pedigree doesn't outweigh the strength of my argument. We're right. They're wrong. That's the end of the story. SiriusXM Patriot.